All right, peace, my peaceful people. What's good? It's your brother, man. Yeah, so tonight I want to do something a little bit different than what I've been doing on video. I want to do a historical investigation. All right, we are talking to God, right? We're talking directly to the Creator of the universe, right? He knows all the answers about what happened in the past, right? And we understand that we are in a time where we've lived through a history that's been changed and reworked over and made new according to the leaders in charge. So we want to go in and see if we can pull out some truth about a couple things. All right, so for now we're going to talk about the one called Yashua. Right? I remember having a conversation with a good brother. It's kind of like his brother was joking. He says, like, what Sarah said is like the Center for Recovery for Recovery Christians or something like that. But I thought it was funny, yeah. But really, we can say that about any religion that we're dealing with over here in the United States as indigenous people, because we're actually recovering from all of that stuff, whether it was Islam, the traditions that our parents carried earlier were traditions that they gathered from people who didn't have our best interest at heart, right? So a lot of us now are deciphering and removing that stuff and developing a more logical, a more historically correct understanding of their of God and spirituality and things like that. So yeah. So we know some things about Jesus. We know some things about, well, quote unquote Jesus, right? We're calling him Yashua because that was his name. Okay, so but y'all know him as Jesus, right? So we're talking about Yashua. The first question is comment on Yashua bin Pandera. Comment on Yashua. Metu Neter say. Metu Neter. Tehuti tuchas. Tehuti tuchas. Heru tem chas. Heru tem chas. Straight stress. Straight stress. Straight stress. Straight. Open. Straight, open. It's like the 34 into the 55. 34 into the 55. Okay, so 34. Right, Jesus wasn't a punk. At 32, don't let nobody tell you that Jesus was just some docile character. All right, let's see. Magician in the reverse. Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Six of Pentacles. And Okay. Tehuti 2 chas, Heru 10 chas, 34 into the 55. Magician in reverse, 6 of Pentacles in reverse. And the 8 of Swords, imprisonment, trapped. Okay, Magician's in the reverse. So this is a negative use of the will. And this is like a Heru 10 card, right? Tehuti 2 chas, Heru 10. So this is a negative use of the will, right? Now we have the 34 with the second line. 34 with the second line is a very strong situation, but it's strong not in a negative way. It's actually, strong in a very masculine, dominant, aggressive, powerful way. Maintaining a right course brings good fortune. This line means exactly what it says. A right course externally is already inwardly correct. This is indicated by this being the central line in the creative trigram Chien, heaven. This person naturally brings blessings and benefits to whoever he engages in. Such persons are supported by heaven and intuitively do what is right and best for the circumstances they find themselves in. The world is blessed by there being a few such people wherever one goes. The most auspicious, he will follow the golden mean and will know how to make corrections and bring about reforms perpetuously. He will be a high and influential position, benefiting a great number of people. He will also be a firm and steady leader. I'm sorry, this is for a least auspicious. He will also be a firm and steady leader and administrator, but on a local level. He will have modest but a good life. He will be in a position of influence and given greater responsibilities and authority. Progressive actions will lead to benefits and fame. His fervent wishes will be fulfilled. Okay, so this is, basically it's an overview, right? So in general, this is what we kind of get from what we understand Jesus' life to be, right? We understand that Jesus was a prophet, right? Okay, I got conditioned too as well. So you understand that Yashua was a prophet, right? So he came here understanding some things. Prophet, Tehuti, right? That's what we said. The Metu Neter said Tehuti 2 chas. Right? There was even, this is interesting because recently, some things have been stirring regarding speculation of Hermes Trismegistus, or the Greeks and Romans eventually called him Hermes, but they were talking about Tehuti or Thoth, right? Thoth. The original name for Thoth is Tehuti, right? So many name changes and things like that. But, right, so they were saying that Thoth was Jesus. Some people had said that, right? So, don't know if that's the answer to this question, but I know Tehuti comes up in this reading, right? But now the Son of God, right? We say the Son of God. Heru would be the Son of God in the Egyptian tradition, right? Of the tree of life, right? Heru is the son of Osir and Oset, right? Heru 10 is here. So this is suggesting something 10 regarding Heru. Now, this perhaps could be speaking about the authority from which the story comes, or from which we get the story, right? Tehuti 2, right, or the wisdom, or the, actual reality, followed by Heru 10, which is a negative use of the will, right? Ego-based use of the will, okay? So this is suggesting that and also Heru is leadership, right? So this is suggesting that whoever is leading the story, right, is of a negative nature, right? Something about this circumstance is Heru 10, right? So, in terms of what was reported of Jesus' life, that shouldn't be him, right? Because Jesus would have been very generous, and he would have been carrying the light, right? Yashua would have been, right? But here we have the magician in the reverse. Okay, so this is someone who is developing plans, willing certain things into existence that perhaps are 10, or perhaps don't have the best interests of the people at heart. We have 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. 6 of Pentacles is giving and taking. If you see this card here, is someone coming to the king, asking him for some things, and the king is presenting him with some things. So this is a generosity situation here. But this is in the reverse for the question of Yashua, son of Pandera, right? So what is it that we're talking about that's not being given as we look at this question, right? What is not being given, right? Is it the correct information that's not being given, right? What else is there? All we're talking about is historical information, right? So, we say comment on Yashua, and we get the magician reversed and the 6 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, I mean, now, rightfully, we should see those both upright when thinking about this character, right? We should see them upright. We should see the magician upright, right? As, someone who wills manifest, right? Who wills from heaven, manifests on earth, right? As magician points up to the sky and points down to the earth, right? We can bring it from the top and come and bring it down. That's just what Jesus' life was purported to be, right? 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. So somewhere, something is not being given right. I'm looking at this like the powers that be. The powers that control this story have not been correct in terms of their giving, right? They're giving something, but it's a lopsided situation here, and it's followed by the 8 of Swords, which is imprisonment. This is a mental trap, right? Followed by the Page of Swords, which is, a negative sebek, right? Page of Swords is like negative sebek is what? Disinformation, misinformation, gossip, trickster speak, right? Slander even, right? And then the 6 of Swords is reversed, right? But we only went in 4. So, there's some, okay, so now this looks like what I deem to be, the thing about Christianity itself, right? 8 of Swords, that's a mental prison, right? Page of Swords, that's a scheming, conniving kind of a situation. 6 of Pentacles, it looks like giving, but it's 10. It's not giving. Okay, so something there. I believe this is speaking about what eventually became to be purported as his way, and that is the way of Christianity. And I'm not trying to upset anybody or get anybody offended. I'm simply, looking at the cards. We see the 8 of Swords, and that's a mental trap. Okay, we see Heru Tem, that's negative will, negative intentions with the wisdom, Tehuti, right? So some aspect of this, I believe, is talking about Christianity itself. And, I asked about Jesus. Pardon me, run it back. I asked, has comment on Yashua, right? And this is what came out. All right, so let's go a little further. Let's go further. Let's get on further. I want to ask about Jesus' father, or Yashua's father. Hard habits, boy, I tell you, your habits hard to break. But we work in it. Okay? Alright. Let's comment on his father. Seker Tem Ma'at. Seker Tem Ma'at. Sebek Tuchas. Seker Sebek. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so Seker Tem. We talk about his father. Okay. What is purported to be Jesus' father, right? Yashua's father. Purported to be Yeshua's father by Christianity is God, right? The one upstairs, right? Okay, so God is the all-powerful, omniscient, power. We got Seker Tem. Seker Tem is complete lack of power. Seker Tem is poverty. Seker Tem is a lack of the ability to still the emotions, to be still, right? To be stable and to have stability. Okay. Into Sebek, not into Sebek, but followed by Sebek to Chas. Someone who was perhaps a scholar, but probably not very rich. They say he was a carpenter. I don't know how that gels with that, but here's what it is. Let's go into the Ichi. Close stress, open. Close stress, open, open. Close stress, open. Close stress, open. Close stress, open, close. Close stress, open, close. 21 to 23. Interesting. 21 into the 23. 23, splitting apart, that could talk about separations. Also, 23 generally is a reading that regards undermining. Someone's being undermined, type of thing. 21 is about the law, about the, pardon me. Okay. Alright. So, alright, you have the 21 into the 23. Interesting. So the 21, that first line is about a mild punishment, right? That fourth line is about going in on your perception to understand a situation, problem. His feet are in the stocks, toes are useless, no error. When a person first transgresses, making small mistakes, he should be corrected and punished mildly but appropriately, so that he will stop making mistakes, big or small. In this way, no blame or error will occur. Every hexagram through the changing lines can change into another hexagram, and so it is to be noted that a complete change here would bring about a condition of rapid progress. Hexagram 35. This is the most auspicious possibility here, and implies that those born on this line with this controlling line will tend to be audacious, to violate rules, and to enjoy skirting authority. Some may be in high positions, others in low, but by changing their traits and habits and by using their talents for the purpose of furthering the good, they can make excellent progress. Okay, so this is like someone gets corrected, right? Someone was doing something that wasn't right. He might put his toes in the stocks. Now he's doing the right thing. A demotion of some sort is likely. Efforts at promotion fail, hold back. He should be aware of a serious illness. He might be punished or jailed. Caution. Okay. Alright, so take what resonates. Okay, gnawing on line 4 of the 21st hexagram. Gnawing on dry grisly meat receives metal arrows. Determination in spite of difficulties, good fortune. Okay, and now the question was to comment on his father. Right, determination. Again, so we got the hexagram of like penance, right? The hexagram 21. This is when you get judged, and it's used this is when you get judged, some level of penance is placed upon you, right? So, okay, so let's go ahead and read this. A strong person in the position of arbiter or executive who has to try to administer justice in difficult legal situations is depicted. In olden days, such persons received metal and arrows before they adjudicated matters. Therefore, these persons have innate ability to be great and noble in fulfilling such duties. Gristly meat signifies that very serious and entangled matters are under consideration. Yet through talent, wisdom, courage, and determination, these all can be decided correctly, and good fortune will result. Most auspicious. He will be highly competent and courageous individual who can be assigned to even the highest judicial positions in the nation and will carry out his duties and responsibilities in a firm and beneficial manner. His personal life will be on a high level too. Least auspicious, he will have considerable wealth and perhaps a good position, but will be subject to graft and corruption. Alright, for an officer and official, he will be promoted. Business and professional, his reputation and effectiveness will be enhanced. Ordinary people, he will make good profit in his business or work. Okay. Alright, so this all turns into the 23, right? It's 21. So there's like a positive and a negative on this 21, right? In the first line, it looks like someone's getting punished. By the fourth line, it looks like decisions are being made on a matter, or not so much decisions, but clarity is being developed, through the consideration of some important matter, right? Now, this turns into the 23. Some level of undermining, right? Someone got undermined. Perhaps, well, I mean, right, first thing that comes to me is okay, so let's just say that Jesus didn't arrive here through a birth that was solely of the mother, right? Let's just say that it was not a thing where God put him inside the womb. Well, what we were told was that it was, and that would be misrepresentation, right? That would be a misrepresentation of things if that didn't happen, right? If we were just told that, that would be a misrepresentation of what actually happened, which is that he had a father, right? And thus, right? See, if I was his father and they acted like I didn't exist, right? And somebody just put him in the belly, but it wasn't me, I would consider that an undermining, right? I was undermined. 23rd hexagram. Right? So it looks like Jesus' father was undermined, right? Yeshua's father was undermined. Seker Tem Sebek, right? If Seker Tem was Sebek, this could be misinformation, right? This could be a poverty of the information that we have here, right? 21, we are investigating right now. This is like, we digging into the matter, right? This, it's a grisly matter, right? It's serious. It's not, in other words, serious things will happen regarding this. This all resulted in a religion and people's head spaces, right? So this is serious stuff. It's not play, right? And then this goes into the 23, which is an undermining. So someone got undermined. Let's see. See what the tarot says about Yeshua's father. 3 of Swords. Betrayal, right? That's the 23rd hexagram, right? Yeah, that's exactly what that is. That's the 23rd hexagram. These oracles are speaking together tonight. 7 of Swords on the in the reverse, right? And to the world, right? 7 of Swords is conniving. 7 of Swords is nasty, right? 7 of Swords is a plan, right? Okay, first 3 of Swords. Let's write stuff down because you know how we do. 3 of Swords, right? And on the bottom, it's the 7 of Swords in the reverse, and then we have the World card. Okay, so it's like the World got 7 of Swords. Oh, this is deep, all right? I knew this would be a deep reading. I knew this would be deep. But yeah, this is pretty deep. Because it's flat out, right? And, look, the oracle is only as good as the questions you ask it. So let's ask it some questions about some real stuff, all right? Look, it said, comment on his father, right? The first oracle says Seker Tem, Sebek. Perhaps there was something about the information there's a poverty of information. Something about the information, something about the Sebek, the talk, the discussion on the matter, right, is off in a Seker Tem way, right? It's not, Seker Tem is like impotence, right? It's, this would be misinformation, right? We leave it there. 21, right? First line, someone gets their toes removed, or not removed. Someone gets their toes placed in the blocks, right? In other words, they have a mild punishment. There's a mild punishment, and at the fourth line, we're considering matters, right? We are in our head, we are adjudicating here at the 21, right? We are trying to see what the thing is, okay? And this goes into the 23, okay? So this is this is something about law, something about justice, right? Going into the 23, right? Undermining, okay? Undermining, right? Perhaps, the powers, who are in charge of the story just undermined this individual, right? We're speaking about Jesus' father, okay? Again, 3 of swords. 3 of swords, what do we see here? 3 of swords we know is heartbreak, betrayal, things like that, right? It's not necessarily always relationship betrayal, right? This one here is, you see, the lady wearing the crown, the man is here, right? And they go to stab the guy while he's taking a bath, right? Okay, so they kill him, they betray him, he's whatever. Okay, so this is the first card that comes up on the tarot, is a betrayal. I asked about the father. Someone was betrayed, the father was betrayed. There's a 7 of swords in the reverse. 7 of swords in the reverse. Okay? 7 of swords is conniving. In the reverse would seem to say that, right, the trick, the ruse is being uncovered, right? The trick is being uncovered at the 7 of swords, right? Okay? At the 7 of swords, we say trickery. 7 of swords in reverse, we say untrickery. Or we say the revealing of the trickery. The trickery comes to light. Interesting. And this comes to the world, right? The world card. And what is the world? Well, the world is, everybody who knows of these subjects I'm talking about. You are the world, right? Where this information, where this story went is the world, okay? Interesting. So it looks like he was 7 of swords by the powers that be, right? Okay? Because, and why is this even a question? Okay, it's a question because we know that natural law, right? We deal with, natural law, reasoning, right? Okay, in other words, let's just say it like this, right? We have an idea of how things work because this is what we've seen, right? And this is what is logical, and this is what is reasonable, okay? Certain things aren't in accord with logic and reason, like, a miraculous birth, right? Sounds good, sounds great, right? But we don't see it. It's not something I seen yesterday, you seen yesterday, 55 years ago, okay? So it's a question. If I'm not in open and blind belief, right? Say, if I'm in blind belief, then I don't question it, right? If I'm not using my reasoning faculty, then I don't have any question about what was told to me that is very different from what we usually normally see. It's not in accord with our usual normal way of reasoning, okay? So in other words, we're saying that using the normal way of reasoning, children don't just pop out of bellies that weren't impregnated by men. Okay, that being the case, this is looking like, what we suspect regarding the matter, right? Yeah, he was here. Yeah, he walked. Yes, he was enlightened. He was a prophet. He was a great and righteous individual likely, the good at heart of, many people, of everybody, right? He was a prophet. He had a light that was divine, right? Now what happened was he gave this light and people saw his elevation. People saw how elevated he were, and they chose to show him as one of these lights, right? And during the time when it was time to give the people something to do with their belief system, he was the prime candidate in terms of the historical, writings. The historical talked about Yashua, right? He was that dude, right? Right? So they used him. They said, okay, yeah, he's that dude, right? And they did some things, right? So far, this is what this is looking like, right? So, in other words, so far, it's not all bright and peachy, right? It's not all peachy keen, right? And I even did this because in my own time, I was actually dealing with an oracle that I kind of partially respect, right? It's kind of like a online, e-king thing, right? And I just asked the question. I asked the same question. I said, comment on Yashua, and I got the 14th hexagram straight up. I said, okay, interesting. It's very, very interesting. 14 straight up. So, 14 straight up is possession in great measure, right? And we understand that to be his story. He was one who possessed in great measure. He was a light. He was a walking light, right? So, we want to talk about, we want to find out, we want to investigate since we have the power to talk to God, right? We can talk to God. Let's talk about it. All right, so now I want to ask to comment on his time in Kemet, right? We understand that Jesus went through Kemet in his developmental stages, right? About 12 is what they say, right? After about 12, Yashua was in Kemet, right? Let's comment on this time. Tehuti to Ma'at, Kemet. Okay, this is where Yashua got his wisdom, right? All right, we're still doing the reading. Let's see. Okay, that was Tehuti to Ma'at. Nekabet Tuchas, right? Tehuti Nekabet. Okay. All right. So the question was to comment on his time in Kemet. Interesting. We got Tehuti, right? So Tehuti is on the case here, right? That's wisdom. Okay, Nekabet. Yashua went to Kemet to get wisdom. Nekabet is like, Nekabet can be like a dampening of activity, right? It could be, someone chilling out, right? Someone laying low, someone hiding, laying low, falling back, retreating, that type of thing, right? Tehuti, this is how you get wisdom. You fall back, right? You go and you study and you sit, right? Going into deep meditation. Like he's dealing Tehuti to Ma'at. He's dealing with subjects that are, out of this world. You know what I mean? Next level, high. This is high spiritual stuff. Wisdom. Tehuti is the mouthpiece of God, and that's what he learned. That's what he went to go get in Kemet. Right? Let's see how the E King taps into that reading or that question. Comment on his time in Kemet. Open, close. Close, open, close, open. Okay, that's the 62 straight up. All right, 62 straight up is like, the power is wedged within smaller elements that are more numerous. So it's like, this is someone who can't do much. They're where they are and they gotta sit there. Like, it's just like, someone is in school and he can't get out till 3 o'clock. And that's just it. That's right. He got no power. He's bold enough to be able to You know, he got 2 legs. You know, he got the ability to push the door open and use them legs and walk out the door, but it's not something he's going to do, right? Because his power is wedged in by weaker elements. You know, perhaps he was there and he just couldn't leave. Perhaps he got sent there. Perhaps it was like a boarding school kind of thing. Like, go into Egypt, get some information, get some knowledge. You know what I mean? Something like that, you know what I mean? Now, basically his time in Kemet was not a time of power. Okay, put it like that. Right? He had to do, he was a small fry. He had to do what he had to do. He was there, he was getting his information. You know what I mean? He wasn't, you know, ruling stuff. He was there getting his information. He was there learning the ways. That's what he was there doing. He was there learning the ways of wisdom that he would eventually master and show to the world. That's what was happening. See how the tarot will break it down. Seven of Pentacles, investments, 6 of Cups, story, 10 of Cups in reverse, family in the reverse. He's separated from his family. Interesting. The past, investments, let's see. 7 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups. Really, I'm saying there's 6 of Cups. The only thing that's really sticking out is this 10. So it's the 10 of Cups in the reverse. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Let's comment on his time in Kemet. 7 of Pentacles. There's an investment being made. This man is investing in his education, right? As a youngster, he likely knew what he wanted to do, right? Of course, he was guided, period. He was already understanding of what he needed to do. 6 of Cups, Sheps, right? He had a past life understanding of what to do, right? He came in with an understanding to make an investment in his wisdom, right? And understanding that would be something that he would be doing with his life. 10 of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so what is 10 of Cups? 10 of Cups is, you know, it's almost like a wish fulfillment card. It's legacy. It's, it's like, you know, generational wealth. You know, it's generational. You know, that's more so the Pentacles. But this is like family, right? This is like Sheps, right? This is in reverse, right? So this suggests to me 6 of Cups. With that 10 of Cups following, right, the past, right, followed by the 10 of Cups, right, is negativity on the family situation. So this is like someone leaves the past, someone leaves the family, right? He left his family. Jesus left his family. He had to do that. I was reading, what did they say? Your family don't respect you, right? What is, I can't remember these funny little sayings they say, but what is that saying that talks about, you know, a prophet is not a prophet in his hometown? That type of thing, right? He had to leave from his family. His family would never respect him. They remember when he was a kid picking his boogers, digging up his butt. Like, you know what I mean? They remember he was snotty nosed. They ain't never gonna respect him. You know what I'm saying? You know, he had to get away from them. He had to get away from them, man. Go get some, you know, go get that God. That's what he had to go get. You know, he had to go get that wisdom. You know, he had to separate. Nekabet, right? Nekabet is hidden, right? Tehuti, tu ma'at, Nekabet, tu chas. Gonna hide out and get this wisdom. 62, I'm gonna lay low. I ain't gonna do much. I'm gonna just lay low. I'm a 7 Pentacles. I'm gonna invest in this. I'm gonna make investments, right? And I'm gonna go to the past with it. I'm gonna understand my past lives. I'm gonna understand my past. Understand my 4 lives. Understand the time and what is significant about the time before we come here. 6 of Cups. right? And I gotta separate from my fam. My brothers and sisters, they'll never get it. My dad and them, they'll never get it. You know, they won't get it, not what me telling them anyway. So, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff, you see. Let's see, what else did we ask? We said, it is said that Yashua died at 33 on the cross at the hands of King Herod, Romans, etc. Let's comment on the accuracy of this. Comment on the accuracy of the Jesus story of death. The Yashua story of death. Comment on the accuracy of what we generally understand to be his story regarding his death. Geb Temchas. Geb Temchas. Appealing to the emotions. So she jump out. Sebek Hetep. Geb Temchas Sebek Hetep. Interesting. Okay, again, the question was to comment on the accuracy of the story. Okay, we got Geb, Tem, into Sebek. Okay, so we know Sebek is a story. Okay, Sebek is a story. Right? Okay, what we want to see when asking about the truth of a future, of a past, right? What we want to see is Ma'at. Right? We want to see Seker. Because Seker is about the past, about cycles, about, time cycles and historical stuff, right? We want to see Ma'at, we want to see Tehuti, right? The truth, right? The wisdom, the light. Okay, we got Sebek. Sebek is not necessarily the truth, even in Hetep form. Look, I ain't trying to say Sebek is bad. Sebek's not bad, Sebek is communication. Sebek is the negative thing about positive Sebek is that it sits in Sahu. Okay, that doesn't necessarily have to be a negative, but it can very well be, because the motivation comes from the lower. The motivation of the Sahu aspect of the spirit, right? The lower spheres, 7, 8, 9. The motivation comes from Geb, right? Which is the world. Okay, so this is intelligence in a worldly way. This is a book smart individual, whereas for wholeness, what you really want is wisdom, right? Not necessarily book smart. You want a common sense understanding of things. All right, so that's just a little explanation on that. So, but the Geb comes first, right? Geb is what? Appealing to the emotionalism, right? What did we say? We said the story was created to give the people something to do with their belief system. Why? Because the people were undeveloped. The people were, it was a dark time, right? The light of Egypt by then had been dimmed, right? We're talking about, around the BC time, through up to like 400 and some odd when they made the story, right? Those were dark times there because the light had gone, right? The light had been usurped hundreds of years ago, right? Egypt was, a colony of Rome by then. So the light was gone, and the people didn't have anything in terms of an understanding of spirituality, right? They had the stories that they were told. That's what they had, right? So, okay, holding it back, right? We said to comment on the accuracy of the story of his death. Geb Tem is not necessarily accurate. Sebek is a story. So it looks like it's a story. I would say it's a story right here. I would say that it's not accurate with that reading right there. That's what I would say. Let's go to the I Ching. What did the I Ching say? Open. Close. Open, close, closed. Open, close, close is assumed. The Sebek trigram. Open. 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 Okay, 46. Okay, interesting. 46 comes out as accuracy. Okay. 46. Well, there's an agenda. There's something someone is trying to do. That's 46. 46 is an effort to move, push upward in development, right? An effort to develop. Okay. Okay. So it's not the clearest, dawning on a brother. All right. So let's go into the tarot. Yeah, I'm not totally seeing how that 46 applies readily right there. Like I said, understanding that aspect of trying, right? Okay. Page of Swords in the Re. Okay. 10 of Cups in the Re and the 2 of Wands. Okay. Page of Swords in reverse. All right. And just as I lift my hand, right, we get a revealing of the 10 of Wands in the reverse also on the bottom. Alright, let me go ahead and put this down. We got, first card was the Page. Okay, again, the question is to comment on the accuracy of the story of the death of Yashua. Right? Page of Swords in the reverse. It's like a lie. Straight up. Alright, Page of Swords in the reverse is a lie. It's a lie, a liar, whatever you want to say. That's a lie. Okay, 10 Cups. Hey, look, if people are getting mad at me over what I'm doing right now, that's on y'all. That's on y'all, and I will laugh my ass off at you in your face if you really tell me that, right? Because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, right? If you are feeling emotional because maybe this is not coming out like belief system and stuff like that, I'm not going to say sorry, because, I've done the work to clear my head. Okay, so, and this is still part of that work. I would suggest that you get humble and do the same thing. All right, so we have the 10 of Cups in the reverse. Okay, 10 of Cups in the reverse. Look at it from the top. We see the 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands is like planning, but you're not moving, right? And on the bottom, the 10 of Wands in the Re, right? The burdens are being lifted. Okay. All right. Legacy, right? This is a legacy that went down. This story is a legend. Okay. That's what this 10 of Cups is, but it's a negative thing because it's Page of Swords. This is Page of Swords stuff. In other words, it ain't accurate. It's not accurate, right? Page of Swords in the reverse on the accuracy of something. No, that's a 10, right? We got 10 of Wands in the building. We got the 2 of Wands in the building and the 10 of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, we can pretty much put the stamp on that and say that Jesus didn't die like they said he did. That's that, all right? Now, see, did Yashua take a mate during his life? Let's see, right? Men and women, right? People born under the male gender, right? Tend to be attracted to the opposite sex, etc., right? So the natural thing would be, right? What we would think would be natural would be that at some point a man would go ahead and take a wife, right? Or, type of situation. Maybe, this person being who he was and in his position, Maybe, it could have been, I don't know. Like, let's do the reading. How about I'm talking? Let's do the reading. I tell you, I tickle myself sometimes. Alright. So, did Jesus take a mate during his life? It's the likelihood that Jesus took a mate. That Yashua had a lady. Out pops Haruka Huti Hetep. Interesting. Okay. Because we understand Mary Magdalene to be in the picture, right? But Haruka Huti Hetep. This is like, that's a soldier's life right there. That's a soldier. Haruka Huti Hetep. That is a soldier, right? That's, somebody who even carries a sword, right? That's not a relationship. That's not. Haruka Huti Hetep is solo. That is solo. Haruka Huti Hetep is somebody that's solo in the forest, B. But yeah. Right? Solo is Haruka. Like his mate, like he's 5, right? 5 and 5 is 10. So Huti is solo. Alright, let's go in to King. Straight. Open. Straight open. Open stress. Straight. Open stress. Open stress. Open stress, open. Open stress, open. 24 into the 55. Okay, 24 into the 55. Peter returns into kind of the going home situation. Returning back from everybody going in 55. 55. It's like, did he take a wife? 55? I don't know if he did. I don't think so. Hierophant pops out, Page of Wands. That's like, what you gonna do with your sex energy? Like, that's what Page of Wands is like, yo. You know what I mean? At the Page of Wands, you gotta learn Meneb techniques. If you want your Hierophant, John. Alright, let's write it down. We got Hierophant. There's the card. We got the Page of Wands. At the bottom, we got the 3 of Swords in the reverse. There is the 7 of Swords down there. Wait a second. For that 3, there's a moon. There's in the reverse. You got that 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords. And it's not in the reverse. Alright, that's okay, so did Jesus take a mate? And it was the Hierophant, straight out. So the Hierophant Hierophant does suggest marriage. But Haruka Huti does not. Haruka Huti suggests a soldier who is not necessarily on that sensitive vibration. Or someone of duty, someone who, makes a sacrifice. Page of Wands also Haruka Huti, right? So there's a soldier for God right here. Right? It's that energy, the energy of fire, fiery energy. But the page is like, it's to suggest a youngster, someone who's young with this. Interesting. Alright, so did he take a wife? Right? 7 of Swords. Alright, what I don't see is cups. Okay, so that's a strong clue. Even though I do see Hierophant, which can say marriage. It can say a whole bunch of other stuff too, right? But what I don't see is cups to go with that Hierophant, right? There is swords. There is, right, 2 swords. We got swords and wands and the moon, major arcana in reverse, and the Hierophant. Right, so I would say no. Jesus did not take a mate, is what my person would say looking at this stuff. I would say Jesus didn't take a mate. Yep. I thought that it might come out something with regard to Mary Magdalene, because that's part of the thing that we understand, right? We understand something about Mary Magdalene in the story, right? That's what we understand. Alright, my next question is, did Jesus have offspring? Did Yeshua, pardon me, I'm conditioned, y'all. Did Yeshua have offspring? Right, we are untangling bristly, entangled matters. Okay? Trying to find out. We have the right to this information. This is the things that they told us, right? Hey, we have the right to question it to God and break it down. That's what we can do. So let us. Did Jesus have offspring? Heteru Tem Ma'at. Heteru Tem Ma'at. Heru Tem Chas. What do we know? Heru Tem, Heru Tem, Heru Tem, Heru Tem. Did Jesus have offspring? Did Yeshua have offspring? Okay, that suggests to me no. Let's see what the E King says. Straight, open, straight, open, close, stress. Straight, open, close, stress. Open, stress, close, open, stress, close, open. Open, stress, close, open. 63. So 49. $63 into the 49. Did Jesus have offspring? 63. Third line. Alright, he enters the devil's region. Alright, there is discontent at the 4th line. This changes into the 49, which is revolution. Did Jesus have offspring? I would think not. Not with these. Not with this. This doesn't suggest that Jesus had offspring. Not with the Heteru. Heteru Tem suggests that he perhaps wasn't having sex. Yeah, Heteru Tem. Heru is a father, so Tem is negative. Heteru Tem, that's like promiscuity. It's like, let me find out. Jesus was on his Jordan. No. Definitely Heteru Tem, it could be saying that he didn't have sex, or it could be saying that he necessarily wasn't serious, with it like that. Like, he was, Rolling Stone kind of kid. Let me see. Let me not say that. 63. Let's go into the 63. Let us go into the 63. And 63. Third line, 63. Is that line that says you went too far kind of thing? Started good, but you went out too far. 43. small, teeny writing. Alright, let's see. He said the third line, right? Okay. The illustrious ancestor disciplines the devil's region. After 3 years, conquers it. Inferior people must not be employed. This is the opposite of the second line. And he reads it. Illustrious ancestor is the dynastic title of Emperor Wu Ting of the Yin dynasty. After putting his realm in order with a strong hand, he waged long colonial wars for subjugation of the Huns, who occupied the northern borderland with constant threat of incursions. The situation described is as follows. After a time of completion, when a new power has arisen and everything within the country has been set in order, the period of colonial expansion almost inevitably follows. Then, as a rule, long drawn-out struggles must be reckoned with. For this reason, a correct colonial policy is especially important. The territory won at such a bitter cost must not be regarded as an almshouse for people who, in one way or another, have made themselves impossible at home. Okay, so this is all the second line. Let's decipher that, he says. Talking about Shechem, Raul Nefra Amen, the author of the Metu Neter. This is his treatise on the I-King. Okay, we have a situation where you have fought very hard to build up a society, a nation, an enterprise of some kind, and you have had people of all different levels of spirituality to help you accomplish that. Reward each person according to his moral capacity, not according to how much work they did, but according to his moral capacity. If a person did a lot of work and you're indebted to that, find a way of honoring that person, paying them off or whatever, but do not do one thing, and that is to give that person a position of trust and power. That is the message here. Okay. So the third line, we asked about a mate. No, but offspring, right? And they spoke about position of right, don't give someone power. Right? So this line talks about someone who is not of the caliber that is desired. Okay. Inferior people must not be employed. Right. So he goes to the devil's region. Right. The devil's region is what? The devil's region is like where your conditionings are. Right. What is your negativities, your vices. Right. So someone entering the devil's country, right, largely is, disciplining themselves, right? Right. So this is like, people here aren't necessarily top flight spiritual, right? So don't give them power. Right, and sometimes I speak in a relaxed sort of way, so I'm just trying to, present the general idea, right? You know what I mean, rather than searching for them, like being stuck on a word search. Okay, so sometimes I just say it. That's what y'all got in mind. All right. So yeah, interesting. At the fourth line, the finest clothes turn to rags. Be careful all day long. In a time of flowering culture, an occasional convulsion is bound to occur, uncovering a hidden evil within society and at first causing a great sensation. But since the situation is favorable on the whole, such evils can easily be glossed over and concealed from the public. Okay, finest clothes turn to rag. Okay, I want you to notice the contradiction here. Because if you go into book 3 of the commentaries, there is no mention of this evil in society, etc. If you go into the astrology of the I-King, there is no mention of the evil in society and convulsion, etc. Some people might believe that this line has to do with glosses. It has nothing to do with that. This was simply an example that was brought inside here, and not one of the best examples either. Back to the text. Then everything is forgotten and peace apparently reigns complacently once more. However, to the thoughtful man, such occurrences are grave omens that he does not neglect. This is the only way of averting evil consequences. This has to do with certain omens. When you get this line, you're being told that things have their omens. Whatever is going to happen has an omen, dreams or whatever, because this hexagram deals with making sure that after completing something, you can preserve. Right? This is the hexagram 63 of after completion. So this fourth line tells you to learn to look at the omens of good and the omens of bad. You are instructed about omens, and unfortunately this theme is not very well developed. If you go into the book 3 of the commentaries, we find this is a yielding line, this is a yielding line in a yielding place, and at the beginning of danger, hence the warning that even the finest clothes turn to rags. And then back to him, meaning the symbolism of danger could be, you could be rich today, but if you don't watch your omens, you could be poor tomorrow. Cause for doubt, back to the text, cause for doubt comes from the trigram con, danger, which we enter here. Right, talking about the structure now, entering the trigram con, which is at the fourth line. Right? The first line of cons at the fourth line of the hexagram. Okay, more but once again we're dealing with, like it says, but once again the hexagram deals with disorder supervening order. Okay, that's the general theme in the 63, right? Is that things go from ordered to unordered or disordered or chaotic. Right? We start out good, but it ends bad. It's called after completion. So it's about, the optimum of this hexagram is about understanding how to maintain things after completion, because that is going to have a tendency to be a time when it goes in disarray. Okay. So more meaningful is the symbolism of the finest clothes turning to rags, meaning going from riches to the poorhouse. But omens, learn to see the portents of disorder, that way you can prevent them. And then by extension, you may ask the question on the omens around you, right? So Shugma is saying that when you see this line, you have to contemplate the omens of the circumstance. Are things in order based upon what it appears to be in the omens, right? And then he implores you that you might want to ask about that. Ask for clarity on the omens, right? Okay, so applying that to here, we go into the 49. Okay, so this looks like to me, and, I'm spending a lot of time on it, getting into the details of these lines, but for this question, it really does not appear that Yashua had children. Okay? And, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. One thing I'm going to do, right? Last thing I'll do real quick on that is that. Let's see. 7 of Swords. And did he have children? 7 of Swords. 2 of Wands in reverse. Ace of Swords. No, Queen of Swords in the reverse. I was going to say. Right? 10 of Swords. Okay. Interesting. Seven of Swords. Right? Did Yashua have offspring? 7 of Swords. Okay, so we are told that he didn't. 7 of Swords means lie. Two of Wands in the reverse. 10 of Swords in the reverse. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Okay, Queen of Swords in the reverse. Alright, so okay, remember, 7 of Swords, we're talking about a story that was developed at the Council of Nicaea. Okay? This is the general themes of what we know about Jesus' life come from 325 AD. Is it 425 or 325? Some one of those. The Council of Nicaea sat for many, many years compiling the various holy writings of the time. Much of it came from Egypt. Okay, and it was pseudepigrapha. Pseudo means fake, and pigrapha refers to the authorship of the Bible. If you look go do a Google search of pseudepigrapha. What will come up is an example of the Bible as pseudepigrapha, meaning text that was made with false authorships. In other words, Luke, John, Mark, and all of them are not the authors of what was written. Okay, that stuff was gathered from the scrolls at Alexandria before they burned the libraries up in 300 BC. Right, the Greeks. Okay, so 7 of Swords, right? This is what they did at Nicaea, right? And we know it was 7 of Swords because, see, everything that Jesus said didn't go into the Bible. Where's the book of Thomas? That's what I'm talking about. That's why I even, for a while, I put the story of Yashua down because, it really just rang very false, especially considering all these things. And then, picking up the book of Thomas, right? When you get into the gospel of the book of Thomas, I find that Jesus, especially in his Kemetic origins, right? That's why I ask these questions. Jesus, or Yashua, very much so lived his life similar to a modern day Kemetic in the upright, right? Someone who deals with reason, right? Someone who deals with truth, right? And, the individual was vegetarian, right? It's all about peace, right? It's all about finding the oneness. What is a Christ? Christ is the realization of who one is on this planet. That's Christ. Christ is a level, okay? The Christ is one who is self-realized, okay? That's what Jesus walked and preached, because that's what they preached in Kemet, you see? Right? In Kemet, the understanding was self-realization, right? Self-mastery. Okay, so this is the Tehuti. We asked about, did he take a mate? Tehuti is discipline. You say Tehuti, that's a soldier. Tehuti, my man was disciplined. Okay, and he probably understood that would throw him off, and also he was focused. He had a plan. He was chosen for a mission. Yeah, taking a mate can sometimes take you off that path. You're chosen for a mission. Now your mate is looking for some attention. Yeah. So perhaps he did not take a mate. Perhaps Jesus did not have offspring. You know what I mean? And that was interesting. But see, and then before I say that though, I can't, because I got 7 of Swords in the question. Did Yashua have offspring? 7 of Swords comes up as the first card for the tarot. 7 of Swords 7 of Swords is upright, meaning there's a lie on the table. 2 of Wands in reverse, meaning there's a plan. And onlooking, but not necessarily a manifestation or a gathering. In other words, we're looking at the plan, but it hasn't really come through yet. Right? At the 3 of Wands, that's when it kind of comes through. Right now, this 2 of Wands is in the reverse, though. So, that's not, ain't no cups. Once again, right? See, did he have offspring? We got swords and fire, right? 10 of Swords in the reverse. That's a betrayal. A betrayal, but you don't feel so bad about it anymore. Reversed, right? So you're coming out of the harm that happened regarding the betrayal, right? And Queen of Swords, right? Queen of Swords is all about truth. In reverse, though, she can be a bitch. And she can be a liar. She can be one of those nasty, narcissistic liar people. Alright, Okay, so all in all, though, I'm looking at this as a no. That's how I'm seeing it. Queen of Swords in the reverse is not having no babies. She ain't opening up nothing. You know what I'm saying? Not her. She ain't giving you nothing. So he ain't got no offspring off her. Alright. So that's that. That's that. You know, still that's one for meditation. Actually, all of these are. You know what I mean? All of these are ones for deep meditation. You know what I mean? Contemplating situation. Right? My next question is, did Yashua have only 24 chromosomes in the DNA strand, right? Is it chromosomes, 24 strands of DNA? 24 strands of DNA. This is what's reported, right? They say Jesus had, or Yashua had 24 strands of DNA because he did not get the rest from the other parent, right? This would have been unique to this individual who only had one parent. Right? What does Metu Neter say about this? Heheru tem chas. Heheru tem chas. So y'all can tell what I'm going to say based on that. Let's see. That's a story. Okay, Heheru tem chas, Amen tem chas, or tem ma'at. Right, that's a story. Heheru tem chas, Amen tem ma'at. Okay, and we won't leave that there. Okay, we're not going to do any more. I'm not going to throw no E-King. I'm not going to do no tarot on that one. Okay, Heheru tem's phony. That's a story. That's something made up. Amen tem appeal negatively to conditionings, etc. Right? So yeah, it's a fantasy. It's not real. That part of it. That part of it was created to, to look like, what I mean, what they say it is. Okay? Yeah, so altogether though, we get that the brother, existed as someone who was strong. He was a soldier, right? 34. Jesus, this is not no docile individual. I say comment on Yashua. This is not no docile dude. 34 into the 55. He was abundant. He was a towering figure. He was someone who was. Jesus wasn't no sucker. Jesus was, Yashua was a strong individual. Strong. He was upright. Okay, and a lot of what we hear about him is false. Actually, that's basically that. On his father, right? We find that there's misinformation, disinformation, undermining, betrayal, right? Concerning his father, right? Betrayal, betrayal of the coiners of the story to move him out, undermine him, right? Right, calling on his time in Kemet, Tehuti, right? Nekabet, he laid low and collected the energy, the information, collected the wisdom. He laid low and got spiritual on y'all. You know what I'm saying? 62, right? You know what I mean? Wasn't too much on the external, wasn't too much he could do. He fell back. He wasn't trying to do too much. Trying to fall back, make his investment in his education, about the past, about the forward, about his before time that gave him such enlightenment to come here and be a prophet, right? He's separated from his family. Interesting. It is said that Jesus died at 33. HC has comment on the accuracy of this. Geb Tem Sebek Hetep. Okay. If it was accurate, it would have been Ma'at. It would have been Tehuti. This is an inaccurate story. Page of Swords. That is a lie. Straight up. Right. Ten of Cups in reverse. That is You know, legacy, a legend, negative. It's a Sebekian legend. Right? Sebekian meaning, you know, liberal with the truth. To say something like that. Did he take a wife? Tehuti Hetep. That's a no. He was dedicated to God. Page of Wands, right? 7 Swords. Right? There was a lot of stuff that was going on around him. There was wartime. You know, this man was a warrior. He, you know, him and his crew was wars. Yeah, they was in a war. You know, did he have offspring? No. He didn't have offspring. Had Herutim, 7 swords, 63? No. There would have been no time for offspring. He was moving and shaking. There was some things going on. Should have asked about old age, perhaps, to figure out a question about that. And 24 strands of DNA is a lie. That's fabrication. Yeah, interesting. All right, so I hope y'all found this as interesting as I did. Yeah. So yeah, this is what the oracle is for, y'all. You know, this is to get clear, right? We want to get clear, right? We were lied to. Even you were lied to, okay? I don't care how much you don't believe me. It's true, you know, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm put here to deliver the truth, right? God made me, and he said, he made me with a flashlight. You know what I mean? And so I got to do what I got to do. Don't be mad at me. I know, I see, you know what I mean? That's a lot of my family right now hates me because I do what I do. And I say that's a damn shame. But I ain't going to do nothing but what I'm supposed to do. So I'm just going to have to be mad. Yeah, to everybody else, man, we're going to come here. We're going to do these investigations. My next question is going to be on the Anunnaki. We're going to talk about them. We're going to discover some things about our connection regarding the Anunnaki. All right. So till then, I'm going to say peace and love. We're going to do it again. Peace, y'all.